good evening. Hello. We're happy to have you. How is everyone? Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. I'm Stanley McAulay. I am thrilled to be maybe the oldest person or one of the oldest persons in the room. We are thrilled, and you'll see who the we are, and there are other we's out in the audience. We are thrilled to launch our 7th affinity group. Count. One. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. All right? We are happy to launch our 7th affinity group. Our 7th affinity group. So if you're wondering who's 1, who's 2, who's 3, who's 4, let me tell you about diversity at Yale, what our journey has been and is, because we're still progressing in our efforts towards creating an inclusive work environment, and also in terms of creating a more representative workplace. So we have 3 affinity groups that were established in 2005. We have an African American affinity group, we have a Latino affinity group, and we have an Asian affinity group. And then in 2008, we realized that we needed to expand our network a little bit larger, and we created an LGBTQ affinity group, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer. Yes, ask me to say that 3 times. And say it in my sleep, it rolls off my tongue. And then we took a little time off because we were attempting to cultivate these particular affinity groups as they were attempting to create a broader sense of community within the university. And then last year, how many are women in the room? Raise your hand. So hopefully sometime last year, around October, you received an email indicating that we would be launching a Working Women's Network. And we launched that particular group. And that group, by head count, is our largest group, with 6,700 employees. And then we decided, why wait 2 or 3 or 4 years before we launch another group? We should launch yet an additional group. And so 2 weeks ago, we launched a Yale Veterans Network. And then today, we decided, let's throw a big party. Someone said to me, I thought I was coming to a meeting. I thought, it's a good meeting. We are launching today our Yale Future Leaders at Yale Affinity Group, our 7th affinity group. The affinity group, for those of you who are saying, why me? When you got that email, why me? I got a number of emails from folks who are saying, why not me? And I'll tell you why some of you are receiving the email and will continue to, and why others didn't. And so we created this particular group out of a lot of university reasons, but we also created it for an inclusion effort. Because young professionals are, in fact, the youngest folks on our campus next to our student population. We knew we needed to create a cutoff, and so we created the cutoff age of 35. But if you become 36, which you will, and 37 and 38, you can still be part of the group. So for the folks who said, I didn't get the email, Debbie, I wasn't invited, what's this fly thing? I said, come on out and meet us today and join us for this celebration. The group is comprised, and you'll learn more from the 2 co-chairs, of lots of people in every single organization here on campus. Every single department, every division is represented here. What our hope is that not only do you come out to celebrate with nice food and great wine and hopefully good beer, that you'll come out when we are asking for you to share your voice around ideas and ways to improve the institution. One of the things that we know as we look at the data over the last 5 years is that young professionals are fleeing this organization. And so the question that we've been asking ourselves is, how do we create a retention strategy, not only a recruitment strategy? And so this group has been formed primarily to help with retention, so that those of you that are here today will be here tomorrow, a year from then, and subsequent years. So I'm happy that you're here. I want you to turn, as I said to someone, I saw her sitting by herself, and I won't say her name because she just turned her head and said, oh my God, please don't put me out. I said to her, you cannot sit by yourself. And the reason I said you can't sit by yourself is because this initiative is about building community. We know that once we know one another, if we walk down the street, if we're riding the shuttle, if we're in a meeting, we're more apt to say, hey, Meredith, how are you? Meredith's got a baby in the belly. I do. Right? Baby in the belly. And we develop that particular relationship. The goal of the affinity groups is to create community here at Yale. And we know that we're spread out. It's not uncommon to work in a building and not meet your colleagues on other floors. Our goal is to eliminate that particular barrier. So again, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're here to celebrate our seventh affinity group. Behind the scenes are a number of folks that are helping to get not only this initiative up and running, but some other great things that will be happening with the group. I want to turn the microphone over to your two co-chairs who are helping to get this group launched. First, Alina Nevins, and then Becky DeSalvo. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Hi guys, I wanted to welcome you guys all to our launch, and I'm really excited you guys could all make it. My name is Alina, as Debbie has said. I am an academic technologist in the Instructional Technology Group in ITS. I've worked at Yale for almost 6 years as both a CNT and an M&P. I currently live in New Haven. I've lived here for almost 12 years, and I am a Yale alumna I'm an alumna of Yale College, sorry. And I live with my dog and my 2 cats.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Welcome again. My name is Becky DeSalvo. I saw some of you when you were checking in. I work here at Forestry Environmental Studies, so welcome to Kroon Hall. This is one of our favorite spaces, so I'm glad many of you were able to come here for the first time. Alina and I are so excited, and we have quite a few steering committee members here as well that we'll introduce shortly so that you can speak with them after we're done with our slightly formal speeches. I have about 7 years in enrollment management. I'm the assistant director of enrollment here at FES, but I was previously with another research institution, so I'm often comparing the two. Overall, I actually think it's a wonderful university. My husband, myself, my daughter, assorted pets of all shapes and sizes live here in New Haven now, and we're so happy to be back in New England, where I'm from. But we would really like to settle down, and like many individuals that are here at Yale, I think we're always a little tentative about how long-term our commitments are. So I know that we're really excited to work on a couple of the initiatives, which we'll talk about. Again, if I haven't met you, welcome to the hall. For just housekeeping stuff, I'm FES, I have to say this. There's composting, there's recycling, and there's regular trash. And for the sake of our facilities, folks, just at the end of the night, if you could please dispose on the way out, and there are bathrooms on each of the knobs if you need them. So now more to our formal logistics of fly.
Okay, hello? Okay. So you guys might be wondering, what is FLY? What are we talking about? So we're an affinity group, also known as an employee resource group at Yale. What we plan on doing, we've identified 4 common areas of improvement, which have become our objectives. Number 1 is professional development, which includes developing and championing opportunities for growth and success. Number 2 is career advancement, which is cultivating strong skill sets and promoting growth within the university. Number 3 is networking, generating significant networking opportunities among diverse ranks and departments. Number 4 is mentorship opportunities, creating and fostering learning opportunities with university leaders. With FLY, we hope to create a community of motivated young professionals eager to advance their careers at Yale. We want to make it easier for everyone to get help navigating their career, sharpening their skills, and determining the best strategies for gaining experience in education. We want to make it easier to find out about development opportunities at Yale and gain insight into how to best utilize the many professional resources here. We want to make it easier to meet new people in our similar age group, life situation, career stages, and also voice and share the opinions and concerns specific to our age group and career group by booth management, collaboration, and communication. What we want to do is increase the recruitment and retention of qualified young professionals at Yale, encourage loyalty and commitment to the university and its mission, and help shape the future of the landscape at Yale. To these ends, we are currently developing a strong digital presence. Our website, fly.yale.edu, will function as a resource for finding and sharing professional development opportunities, as well as a means to share information about events, both ones that we have thrown and ones that might be of interest to everybody in the community.
Sorry, I love microphones. So anybody who knows me here at FES, I don't actually use a microphone. I tend to be rather loud generally. So one of the things that Alina and I were chatting about when we were trying to figure out how to best present the affinity group to this larger group was obviously talking about the goals, but then how did we get there? And I think that's an important factor. Anyone who is on the steering committee who's in the room right now, can you raise your hand? We have a lot. We have a lot of steering committee members. There are actually about 16 total that are helping on the back end and have really, really been grinding out the past about month and a half, 2 months to get us moving. As Debbie mentioned, the initiative is supported by the university centrally, but coming from the other side, on the staff ends of things, the reason we came together is that most of us, particularly those on the steering committee, had probably reached out to a supervisor, Debbie herself, or someone else saying, I'm looking for an opportunity to network. I'm looking for professional development. I know it's here. How do we get to it? The other things that we were talking about were the issues of, I've been here for 8 years, and I don't know anybody beyond my department. I'm sure many of you know this feeling. So that was one of the things we heard a lot. The other thing, and we try not to focus on the age factor too much, because this is really about careers and being at probably the first half of someone's career trajectory. So there's people of all different ages and experience levels that are here tonight and are interested in being involved, and we encourage them to. That being said, we did hear from the slightly younger population that they were easily 10 to 15 years younger than their next colleague in their department. So this was another way to also just connect individuals that might have some common interests. So we took all of these things, we had brainstorming sessions run by Debbie and her colleagues in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, tons of sessions, and we had lists galore, literally, that we were writing on the walls, and the 4 main objectives that you'll see around the room as well on the posters and that Alina described. This is what we decided were the 4 most important things that the steering committee wanted to move forward on. So there are a lot of initiatives that come out of each of these. We encourage you, and you'll hear this from us many times tonight, to go to the website. We have a great team that have been working tirelessly on getting that up and running. So we're still adding to it, but you can at least review some of the initiatives that we're looking at. To kind of tell on that, how can you get involved? Or what role can you have as far as involvement? There's really not a limit. You could be at every event, including all the other affinity groups, which there's a lot of events that go on. I'm sure ODI can speak to that. But the other thing is that we're going to have a combination. So we know that this particular group is comprised of individuals who really have a tough time getting out of the office during the day, and so after hours is better for them. At the same point, there's many of us who have obligations after hours. So we're hoping to have a nice balance of things that happen during the workday as well as after hours, maybe in the New Haven community. We are hoping to kind of further the path of Yale in what they're trying to do within the New Haven community by contributing to local businesses, whether we're having luncheons or we're having a networking event. We're going to try to work within the realms of New Haven and sponsor local businesses as we move forward. Some of the upcoming opportunities to get involved. We've got a whole group of individuals working on events. So towards the end of May, stay tuned. We'll have a really nice networking event that'll be in the community after hours. A little less formal, just to kind of, again, introduce individuals and start talking about some of the activities that are going on. We have a community outreach group that is working on initiatives with local groups. Just to put some names out there, sorry to put these guys on the spot, but New Haven Reads is one of the programs. We've looked at United Way, we've looked at some other smaller organizations here in New Haven. So the majority of our activities will have some sort of charitable component to it. It could be that you donate your time, your energy, your skill set. There's a variety of ways you can get involved. The other thing is professional development, I think, which a lot of us are interested in, along with a mentorship program. So if there's someone in your department or in your school, faculty member, administrator, whoever it may be, or you yourself who's here tonight, I think you would function well as a mentor on both ends, giving and receiving, because we think it's kind of a reverse learning situation a lot of times. Same thing, direct them to our website. And we would like to collect their information because that is something that we are very, very excited about getting off the ground for everyone here at the university. So there are numerous ways, as you can tell, to get involved. I would encourage you, I'll have everybody kind of raise their hand again, to stop one of the individuals who's on the steering committee. It's all of us. We just happen to be the 2 that are standing up here chatting right now. But please stop them and talk to them. Share your ideas, ask them, any questions that you have about the group. We are all very, very excited for the things that lay ahead. We are going to have Mike Peel here later this evening, probably right towards the end for those that are going to be sticking around until 6. And for those of you who are not aware, Mike Peel is the Vice President of Human Resources and Administration. Completely right, it's a long title. And he's actually our executive sponsor. So we think that bodes well for us. Yes, so we're very excited to have you here. I'm going to look at my notes real quick, just make sure I hit all my points that I wanted to get out there. We really, really, really appreciate everyone coming out and taking the time. We are going to be here till 6. I know some people had to leave. There are over 200 people that responded to us. So I think that we were taking bets. I think it's a pretty good response rate. So there is a need. There is a need for this group, and we're really excited to get it off the ground. So from Alina, myself, the other steering committee members, and the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, thank you so much for coming. And please help yourself to more beverages and food. There's more coming out, and we'll get the music back on. Wonderful. Thank you.